from New York City is Wendy Williams. Today, Dr. Phil makes his Wendy debut. Plus, see what happens in a special edition of Ask Wendy and Dr. Phil and all the latest hot topics, including Liam caught kissing a new girl a day after he and Miley split. Now, here's Wendy.
For watching today. I really do appreciate it. Say hello to my co-host, my studio audience. You look fabulous. How you doing? Not bad today. We have a fantastic show for you. Dina Lohan's writing a tell-all book about the family. Jennifer Lopez made some outrageous diva demands on American Idol. And America's Got Talent crowned a new winner last night. Let's talk about it more. It's time for Hot Topics. Thank you so much. So, did you actually watch I love you too. Did you actually watch America's Got Talent last night? Yeah. They crowned a new winner and we were spot on, or at least I really like this guy who won, so I'm glad that he won. His name is Kenichi, and many of you liked him too. He's so unique. He got his big prize, $1 million, and he'll headline his own show in Vegas. Which, by the way, that might make winning this show better than winning all the other, talent shows on TV because, headlining your show in Vegas, that can start as soon as tomorrow, number one. When you win one of those singing shows like The Voice or something and you get a record contract, do you know how long the turnaround time is from the time you win to the time you get it? By then, we've forgotten who you are as the winner. So $1 million and headlining his own show. Good for you, Kenichi. And I'll show you why. I'll show you why I love him so much and why he won. Take a look. Ouch.
Reverse.
That's fantastic. I've got jerky jaw. Do you like jerky? I love jerky. But it's kind of like shoe leather, but it's really tasty. And Rachel Ray, who, she's in the same, she's like, if I knock down this wall, there's her studio. So she sent me this big basket of jerky, and I had a little piece for breakfast with some hot sauce on it. And now my jaw just wants to say, stop talking. Anyway, and Simon Cowell was actually in the audience last night at America's Got Talent. He brought his future, that woman he's calling a baby's mother. And of course, she's wearing red. That's because that's the Scarlet Letter. She's obviously not showing yet, but her name is Lauren Silverman. And if you want to know why Simon was at America's Got Talent, it's because he produces that show, but he also produces X Factor. And last night, X Factor was on as well, but that was pre-taped, and that's out in LA. And so he was here in New York with his baby's mother. The word on the street is that she just got allegedly a new Park Avenue apartment with 3 bedrooms. So they're probably nesting, waiting for the baby. The gagalicious part of the story is, did you know that America's Got Talent has been on TV for 8 years? I know, doesn't it seem like it's more like a newly invented show? 8 years, not 8 cycles, 8 years. The first host was Regis Philbin. And that was back when Piers Morgan was one of the judges. It doesn't even seem like the same show now. No disrespect to anybody who's participated, but it's the best ever now. Yeah. So, there's good news for Miley Cyrus. Well, good and bad, depending on how you look at it. The good news is that she's experiencing her first #1 Billboard chart song the Wrecking Ball song. It's number one, it's number one. That is huge, and she's only 20 years old, but her love life isn't so good. But again, it depends on how you look at it. She's only 20, she's got many, many years to find hers. If she was 50, then I would say, oh, well, you can't go to bed and spoon with a number one song. You know, but you know, she and her fiance, Liam Hemsworth, as you know, they've broken up. And we were talking to you yesterday and telling you that he's moved on, and we showed you a very innocent picture with him out on a date with a woman by the name of Aiza Gonzalez. But we've got an updated picture, and here it is. What I love about this picture, don't you love it when your man puts his hand in the small of your back and pulls you in? Look, she's so weak, she can't even lift her arms to hug him. It's just so good. And the final part of this picture that's just hot to me, his arm is up on the car door. Don't you love it when he puts his arms up? And what's better than one arm? When he kisses you this way. Against the wall. I love that. Sexy. So about her, okay, so she's 23 years old, so she's the same age as Liam. She's a Mexican singer and actress, but she recently moved to LA to pursue her career. And you remember, it worked out well for Selma Hayek, friend to the show, when she came from Mexico to pursue, so maybe this girl's got a future as an actress. Either way, she comes from money. Her mom is like the Tyra Banks of Mexico. She hosts Mexico's Next Top Model. That's mom right there. And Aiza, the daughter, who's 23, she split from her businessman boyfriend of 2 years. Miley, just let it go. Because just judging, yes, Miley, all right, American Sunshine, get back to the hot Mexican lady. This girl right here will bust Miley in the jaw. Did you see how she's looking? That girl right there does not play. No, honey. Anyway, what do I have, a hanging eyelash on aisle 3? Oh. Morel, we've got work to do during the commercial break. I should take the other one off too, because now I look crazy, right? Do I look crazy? Yeah, okay. All right, Morel. Just during the commercial break. Don't encourage me, because I'll get to rubbing it all off right here in front of you. Anyway, Dina Lohan, the mother, is writing a tell-all book, and this is not good. When will mothers and fathers realize that writing a tell-all book about the family is not good for anybody? Because if the person you want to hurt or dispel rumors for is you or like the celebrity daughter, what ends up happening is you end up hurting the other kids who don't want to be involved in the messiness. Now, in the book, Dina reportedly wants to address rumors of misinformation thrown out there about herself and her family. Well, I don't know what we've missed. I think we've pretty much covered it all. Dr. Phil knows too. He'll be out here later on. But the problem with this is that when Dina writes the book, then you know the ex-husband, Lindsay's father, Michael's gonna write a book. And then Lindsay hopefully will stay on the sober track, and then maybe she'll write a book to dispel the rumors. In the meantime, there are 3 other innocent people in this family. Allie, the little sister, who looks nothing like she does, nothing like she was born to look. I mean, she's denying anything going on, but... And then this, like, she needs a sandwich. And I understand, she's painfully thin. Stop it. Don't act like you're not looking at what I'm looking at. Why are you laughing? Oh, they're the mean girls. Anyway, and then they're 2 younger brothers. Now, when you don't hear much about the other siblings, if you're like me, then you assume one of 2 things. Either they're doing so well, like Jack Osbourne went on and made a life for himself. You know, like Jack Osbourne broke away from doing drugs and stuff. Or they're so spun out of control and don't want to be bothered with the family. Either way, Dina, when you write the book, there are a lot of feelings you're going to be hurting. I'm not asking you not to write the book because it's good for my business, but it's not good for family dynamics. Again, Dina, another poor choice on your part. And you know what? Most things that you write in the book, I think a lot of people would consider lies. We already know you're gonna say horrible things about Michael, right? The ex-husband. We already know that you're gonna say glowing things about Lindsay. But what are you gonna say about yourself? Because we've seen it all, right up to your DUI that you got last week. Like, of all times for you to... That's not a terrible picture. The woman's 50 years old. If she's a little tipsy and that's her mugshot, that's not a horrible picture. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so the new judges of American Idol have been confirmed, and everybody's buzzing that Jennifer Lopez is back after taking off a year. She is known, dare I say, legendary for her diva demands, and I love it. You know, she's the woman that you never have the guts to be, but you sure do like to read about it. So according to the Star magazine, she allegedly made some really outrageous demands for the set, like her clothing budget per episode, $10,000. I'm gonna have a meeting after this show. Okay, then she's got a massive trailer with 2 spray tanners, and around-the-clock masseuse, allegedly, and her boyfriend allegedly is now on the Idol payroll because he is hired to be her dance choreographer when she performs her number later on in the season. Okay, and she also got a bump up in salary from $15 million when she left to $17.5 million. Why did you go back to American Idol, Jen? Like honestly, I just feel like you should have left on a high note. You left them, they didn't fire you, and we know that. They didn't fire you. Girl, gorgeous. Look. But they didn't fire her. And now American Idol is in like its 13th season, and if the ratings dip, like they have been in the past seasons, now people are gonna blame you. So now you're coming back on a high note only for people to, you know, treat you like you're the one who torpedoed America's favorite show. Why are you doing this? You have enough money and you are busy. Well, to get back at Mariah Carey? Okay, in my head, she said, you know, to me, because I'm getting back at Mariah in my head. I don't know that for fact, but you know, Mariah was, well, to hear them tell it, she wasn't fired, but the streets have talked, Mariah. And it's okay. But when Mariah was, when she did, allegedly, when she did leave, Jen, she was making $18 million. Not 17.5. Okay, so Mariah wins the money war, even though getting dismissed is not as good as throwing down the microphone. So, all right, so Jennifer left in a better way. Who's prettier to you, Mariah or Jennifer Lopez? Yeah. I think Jennifer too. It's not to take away from Mariah's beauty, but I just think Jennifer Lopez is prettier. Who is more iconic? Mariah. Oh, think, my dear. I used to say Mariah too, however, the way that Jenny from the Block has turned her thing around and we watch her, she's an equal icon in a different way, because we know Jennifer can't sing. But, oh, come. We also know she's not the most beautiful Puerto Rican girl in the Bronx. You go up to the Bronx, you will see mommies standing on the corner and going to school and going to work, and girls are gorgeous before alleged nose jobs, before alleged glow and mink eyelashes and everything. So she's not the most beautiful girl, but what I admire about her is that she has turned randomness into something iconic. You will remember Jennifer Lopez in 20 years. Watch. Just like you remember Mariah Carey. Mariah, though, has something really special in that Mariah, only 2 people on the face of the earth that I know of, Mariah and Shantae Moore, that can hit that butterfly note, that thing she does, and she touches her ear like this, you know? Then, in Hot Topics, it was a big debate because we're fans of both. And then I said, okay, who'd you rather? Regarding the men, you know, which man would you rather? Everybody said neither. They said neither. Well, you know, Nick is like, I guess your goofy younger brother, you know, so it's kind of hard to get hot for that. And then Casper is good looking until he takes off his glasses. He's got those googly eyes like Bart Simpson. But either way, both girls are legendary. I just wish she didn't go back to American Idol, but she is, and I'll be watching to see what she's wearing. American Idol returns to Fox in January. So Kate Winslet, well, you know, she's got this third husband and she's pregnant with his baby, and the third husband's last name is Rock and Roll. Yes, well, he changed it. It used to be Smith, but he wants to be edgy. Kate recently told The Telegraph that she wants to carry on her Winslet family name, and that's why she's never changed it, even through 3 marriages. She's 37 years old, although she's a very mature 37, right? Like Maggie Gyllenhaal. You know how Maggie Gyllenhaal, Jake's sister, she looks wise in the face beyond her years, if you know what I'm saying. Just, you know, a little older. Well, anyway, so this Kate Winslet, I must feel bad because I'm really more interested. I knew more about her personal life than I did about her body of work, which is horrible, but I think that's a sign of the times. I only know her from the Titanic, and I know her from being edgy and married, and then the way she met rock and roll. Okay, so she's on vacation at Richard Branson's mansion over there across the pond, and she's on vacation with a model man. Well, the house goes up in flames. You read about this. You know, Richard Branson, the house went up in flames. I guess everybody had to flee in a hurry. Kate left with a man that wasn't the guy who she ride with. She left with Ned Rock and Roll. She's edgy and interesting. So she leaves with Ned Rock and Roll, the island that's up in flames. Ned Rock and Roll happens to be the nephew of Richard Branson, by the way. He's 33 years old. Or no, she's 33, he's 37. But do you know this about Kate? Do you know that she is the youngest person to be nominated, or to win an Oscar? Six. She was nominated 6 times and won 1. Yeah. Who knew? You know, by the time she was 33, she's now 37. So she really is acting her behind off. And then my Hot Topics staff started naming all these movies and things that she's done, and I feel so bad because I'm still stuck on Titanic and the edgy personal life. I wonder if they're gonna give the baby the last name Rock and Roll. Anyway, how you doing, Kate? And we'll be watching. My leg is starting to die. Wait, hold on. Was it that funny? He's so goofy, Suzanne. I love Mark Wahlberg. I don't know if I've ever shared this with you. I mean, I can't think of a reason not to like this guy, and no, I've never met him. I know him as well as you do, through the magazines and reading about him. You know, we all knew him from Marky Mark, and but this guy, he finally got his high school diploma. He's 42 years old, and he told People magazine that he wanted to get his high school diploma for his 4 young children so that they don't say, you didn't do it, why do I need to do it? I think that that's just terrific. You know, he's one of those people whose life could have gone any which way. He was raised on the mean side of town, in Boston. He ended up apparently dropping out of high school. Then, he got his rap career going, but it's just a crapshoot, when you're young and, you're raised a particular way. And he really did just turn out to be a really decent class act guy. He's married to his chick for many, many years. They got those 4 kids. All 4 of them are gorgeous. This one right there with that high-class bottle, it just makes me want to have another baby. And I don't really miss those years, but when you look at, when they're all cleaned up and everything, that's when you say, oh, look at the family, just gorgeous. He took classes online while he was filming the movie with Denzel Washington, 2 Guns, and he was really cryptic about what he was doing in his trailer, so he never told Denzel, and he never told any of his co-actors, and he was having trouble in math, so he'd shuttle the math tutor in when nobody's looking, and he got his degree. He didn't have to do it, but he did it. Good for you. Good for you. Oh, that's it? Well, keep clapping. We got a terrific show for you. The one and only Dr. Phil is here for the very first time. I'm a huge fan of Dr. Phil. I can't wait to meet him. And I wonder how much more taller he is than me. I love that. Plus, everybody, we're gonna do a special edition of Ask Wendy and Dr. Phil as well. But up next, it's time for Celebrity Lookalikes. Don't miss it. Drying the glue, the lashes are back on. Hi, everybody, welcome back. It's time for Celebrity Lookalikes. I love this. Okay, so now, our first celebrity lookalike comes from a young lady by the name of Grace P., who watches The Wendy Show here in New York on WNYW, here in New York City. So Grace says that she looks like the actress Vanessa Hudgens. So here's the real Vanessa, and let's take a look at Grace. Yes, yes, dead on. And she's a really cute girl. I wonder if Vanessa was surprised that her ex-boyfriend, Zac Efron, did his stint in rehab. I mean, they were boyfriend-girlfriend many years ago, but I wonder if she knew something. She's a pretty girl. Our next celebrity lookalike comes from Astride L., who watches The Wendy Show on WNYW in Newark, New Jersey. Astride says that his friend looks like Justin Bieber. So let's take a look at the real Justin Bieber, and let's take a look at Astride's friend. Definitely, 100%. That's a good one. All right, let's move along. Our next celebrity lookalike comes from Marvelous C, who watches our show on WTXF in Newcastle, Delaware. Marvelous says that whenever he goes out, people tell him that he looks like the rapper-actor Ludacris. So let's look at the real Ludacris. Okay, and let's take a look at Marvelous. You know where it is? It's right here. It's the mustache, you know, chinny chin chin hair right here, and the lips. Yeah, up here in the eyes, it's more like Urkel, right? Urkel's got the big eyes. Hey, he's not a bad-looking man, that's Steve Urkel, everybody. Anyway, hi, Marvelous. Thank you. They're trying to start something. That was meant as a compliment. Okay, our last celebrity lookalike comes from Yesenia R., who watches The Wendy Show on KTTV in Los Angeles, California. Yesenia says she looks like Lauren Conrad, friend to the show. So here's the real Lauren Conrad. And now let's take a look at Yesenia. Oh, yeah. You look very, very similar. I love celebrity lookalike. Thank you so much for sending us your photo. Listen, if there is a celebrity that you look like or somebody that you know looks like, share the photos with us. Go to wendyshow.com. Up next, everybody, the one and only Dr. Dr. Phil is here. To meet our first guest. He's now in the 12th season of his hit daytime talk show, and he always says it like he means it. Our kind of guy. Take a look.
This guy over here that you say you can't stand, no regard for you whatsoever, he's here. Your mother is here because she was unwilling for you to continue to be miserable. What if you don't have the right to waste who you are and the gifts you have been given?
Please welcome the one and only Dr. Phil McGraw.
All right, how are you?
I am a super fan, so yeah. I'm doing better now.
Well, good. I'm just so glad to not have any duties, to just get to sit here and answer questions.
How does the couch feel to you?
Good, I like this.
Well, you know, because I noticed on your show, I'm a fan of, you know, all the different things that you do there with the show, but one thing that I love your chairs.
Yeah.
Custom made for a very tall man.
That whole thing is customized for my knees.
For your knees.
Yeah.
See, and I was just saying this the other day to somebody, my couch is raised 4 inches for my 40-inch legs.
Yeah.
And people don't understand, even if it's just a little difference in height, we see the world in a different way, right?
Really, and I love this, because see, the test is, can you get up in one motion?
Yep.
See?
Yep.
As opposed to having to
yes.
go...
Yes, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So, but you're married to a little lady.
I am.
Robin.
Yeah, Robin is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing that I love about your show, it's so incidental. At the end of the show, you know, he walks in the audience, he grabs Robin's hand. She always takes the same seat, and then they hold hands and they walk off.
You know, that was not planned, by the way. The first time we were doing a show, they said, we got to do a test show so we can set our lights and everything. And there's that runway, and they said, what are you going to do at the end? I said, well, hell, I'm leaving. I said, where do you want to leave? I said, well, I'll just walk down this deal. And I walked by, and she was sitting right there.
Yes.
It just seems so crazy to walk by your wife like you don't know her just because you're on television.
Right, right.
So I said, well, come on, let's go. And so we've done it every day since.
So now, even though that wasn't a planned thing, now it's kind of like she's obligated to be there at the set every single day.
She has missed one show in 11 years, and that's because it conflicted with an Oprah show that she was on. So,
I remember that show also that she was on.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on 12 seasons.
Yeah.
It's good, Dr. Phil.
12 years.
You still loving it?
I am loving it. You know, I did 5 years on Oprah, then 12 years now. That's 17 years. I've got guests coming on the show now who used to come home from first or second grade and their parents would say, shh, you can't talk right now.
It's
Dr. Phil's on Oprah. And now they're on the show with their kids.
Yes, yeah.
And so, I mean, it's been 17 years I've been doing this.
You're
People
raising
have grown
America.
Up.
Yeah.
But I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I am more excited. I am more excited about this season than I was the first season.
Why is that?
Well, we're changing a lot. We reinvent ourselves every summer and come up with new ways to do a better job of telling our stories and stuff. And we're doing a lot of different news stories. We're doing a lot of things that you see in the headlines.
Yes.
Been adding that to our mix, and that's interesting to me. I like talking about things that I was reading about yesterday, and then, oh, well, they're booked for tomorrow. So I'm talking to them, and I love that.
Perfect. Well, and one thing I like about your show, you specifically, is that you're very opinionated. You know, you've got a way of delivering he's got a way of delivering, you know, some of the toughest blows to people in a really no-nonsense, yet endearing way. Like, don't hate Dr. Phil because you did wrong. Have you been like that all of your life, outspoken?
You know, actually, no. And I'm not that way in my life. I hate confrontation. I really do. In fact, I grew up with 3 sisters. And they're, oh my God.
Are you the youngest?
No, I'm the next to the youngest. I was one boy with 3 sisters. There was conflict in the house, so much so that in junior high, I came and went through my bedroom window. Seriously, I did not go down the hall and leave out of the front door. I went in and out of my bedroom window.
It was easier.
It was easier. I don't want to deal with it. And when I'm out with friends, I'm the last one to express my opinion.
Well,
even if they're having marriage problems or kid problems or whatever, you know, if we're at dinner or something, everybody has their opinion. I keep my mouth shut until somebody asks me. But if you ask me,
that's what I say.
You don't ask me if you don't want to hear the truth as I see it, because I'm going to tell you the truth.
That's what I say. We found a great photo of you. Were you opinionated in this picture?
Oh, jeez.
That's our Throwback Thursday photo, Dr. Phil.
Oh, my God.
Hot.
Now,
how old were you there about?
I had hair, so I had to be like 16. But see where the hair's going?
Yeah.
Even in the picture?
Yeah, it's going back there.
And I'm okay I know I have thinning hair now. I'm willing to talk about it. I know it's getting a little thin on top.
Yes.
But I have to tell you, that's my big surfing outing, and those are big waves in the back, because I was surfing in Galveston.
Oh.
Yeah, which is not exactly the bonsai pipeline. No.
Yeah. Did you enjoy your interview with Dina Lohan? We talked about it here on Hot Topics. We talked about, you know, was she on substance or whatnot, and Lindsay and, you know, trying to get herself together.
Well, I enjoyed it kind of, I don't know. It's, you know, when you're driving down the road and there's roadkill on the road and you go, oh, don't look.
Yes.
I stopped that interview in the middle. Now, get this. I'm the guy doing the interview, and I stopped the interview in the middle. She's there with her publicist and her lawyer. And I went out of the room and said, do y'all really want to continue this? Oh, no, she's good to go. We've talked to her. She's good to go. I offered, take this woman home.
What did you suspect?
I don't know, but she clearly was impaired, in my view, in some way.
Yeah.
Well, you know, drugs, alcohol, I have no idea. what it was. I didn't get close enough to smell if there was alcohol on her or whatever.
It was messy.
But she clearly wasn't thinking clearly, in my view.
Well, another person who hasn't been thinking clearly recently is DMX, and he is going to be on your show.
He is going to be on my show.
Talk about it.
I'm interviewing him actually Tuesday, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil, he is messy. What do you think about, where do you start with a man who strips down naked and runs through a hotel?
You know, that actually is a damn good place to start.
Just look, everybody, while Dr. Phil is talking. Okay? Dr. Phil, what do you say to him? You know, he's had a long history of substance abuse. You know, he tried to go on Ion Love Fix My Life, and she didn't fix because it seems like he's incorrigible.
Well, you said, where do you start with a man that gets naked and runs around the hallway? Is that wrong? No, my first question for him is just that. I want to know, seriously, you're sitting in a chair, at some point you're sitting in a chair with your clothes on, and you decide to get naked and run up down the hall. Take me through that problem-solving moment.
Right.
I want to know.
Right.
Don't you want to know?
Yes, I do.
Don't you want to know what conversation you have with yourself when you decide to do that? Was it hot? I don't know. I want to know his thinking, his reasoning. I want to get inside his head.
Yeah.
I don't judge him. I just want to know how he thinks.
And he's going to be the full hour.
Well, if he stays.
Lock the doors, and we'll grab a snack and be watching, right, everyone? Listen, don't go away. A special edition of Ask Wendy and Dr. Phil is next. You don't want to miss it. For a special edition of Ask Wendy and Dr. Phil.
Yeah, we got it covered.
How can we help? How you doing?
How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
My name is Lisa. It's my husband, Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Hi.
We've known each other for many years. We're married 19 years, known each other since junior high school. We recently opened a new business, an all-natural salad dressing product, and we are hoping that the marriage and the business will work together. So he thinks he's the boss, and I want to make sure that both the marriage and the business is very successful. How do we do that? What advice do you have for us?
Larry, Dr. Phil will talk to you first.
So he thinks he's the boss.
Well, he
You're
is the
delusional.
boss. We're both doing this together.
You're delusional.
She's bossier.
Yeah, seriously, here's the big deal. You got to have a clear boundary between home and work, and you may be designated as the boss at work. You may be designated as somebody has to be in charge. I mean, you might do that, but when you go home, you ain't the boss. You ain't even almost the boss. And do you want to be? I mean, seriously?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
Then I tell you what, I would let him do everything he wants to be in charge of.
Okay.
If he wants to set all the rules and run everything, then let him do it. Okay? And you go watch the Dr. Phil show and Wendy Williams.
Right.
We'll be.
And my thought on this is very, very simple. I always say this, you know, working together, it takes a special couple to work together and make it work. And you have to define the boundaries of your life, what goes on at work and what goes on at home. But at home, my man, you are the head of the household.
Thank you.
But sweetheart, you are the neck, and the neck can make the head turn any way she wants.
That's right.
Good luck.
You don't want that.
Yeah, okay, you guys, have a seat. Let's see who's up next. Yes. Hello. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. My name is Silvestri. I'm 24 years old. I have a best friend for 10 years. And in the past 4 years, she's dated 4 guys, and I'm very concerned that I'm very sure that 3 of them are gay. Is it, I know, is it my business to tell her, you know, who she's dating? I mean, I really don't want to hurt her.
How old are you all?
She's 2 years younger than me.
How old are you?
24. 24.
All right, and she's 22.
Yeah.
A lot of times the girls don't have gaydar when they're that young. Phil, you go first.
Your question is, should you tell her she's dating a gay guy?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yes. What conversation would you have in which you would leave that out? I mean, by the way, the guy you're dating is gay. You just need to know that. And if you're okay with dating a gay guy, have a great time. But that's what you're doing.
I know she's not gonna be okay, and that's why I'm scared to approach her.
You know
about
what's
it.
really interesting? That's what you would expect me to say. Oh, hell yeah. But you know what I say? Don't tell her. You said she's dated 4 guys and at least 3 of them are gay.
Yeah.
Is she currently in a relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
Is he gay?
Is he gay? Okay. Okay.
What do you mean, don't tell?
Well, this is why. This is why. Okay. I thought that maybe she was in between guys and I was gonna say, here's the perfect time. But this is what you need to be prepared to do. Be prepared for her to throw you over as her friend and never want to speak to you again. So you're gonna tell her in the name of love and gaydar. And a lot of young girls don't have it, right, old girls? Right, older girls? And then as we get older, haven't we all looked back in our log of men and said, yup, that one was gay, that one was gay. So, okay, tell her, but be prepared to lose her friendship.
Yeah, she knows.
She might not. All right.
She knows.
Good luck.
Have the microphone.
Thank you. Have a seat. Okay, we've got time for one more quickie. How you doing?
How you doing?
Very well. How can we help?
Hi, I'm Dolores, and I've been in a relationship with my 5-year-old's father for 7 years. We do not live together, but we're thinking about buying a house, and our families think that's a bad idea. So should we listen to their advice, or should we just go on about our business?
How old are you?
25.
Why would you buy a house together if you're not living together, you don't have a relationship other than co-parenting a child, and you don't plan to get married?
Well, I'm thinking about it. We talked about it, but that's a good question.
Well, why don't you and I go buy a Buick? What the hell?
Well, let's go. Let's go.
Dolores, first of all, about your parents. You're 25 years old. You didn't need the permission to have a child. So why do you need their permission to tell you which way to go with your money to buy a house, number 1. Number 2, I wouldn't buy a house with anybody that I wasn't married to. I wouldn't sign a credit card or put a phone in my name. Anybody that I was married to, wasn't married to. Because this joker is in and out of your life. The child is here to stay and you can co-parent. What I would do if I were you is buy a house that you can afford to pay on by yourself. And let the rest of the relationship take care of itself. Phil, what do you say?
Well, I'm not saying don't do it because your parents don't want you to. I'm saying don't do it because it's dumb.
Dumb. And about the parent thing, I'm saying you don't need their opinion anymore. You got yourself a baby. You's a woman now. Right?
There you go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Dr. Phil. Thank you so much for stopping by our show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody, make sure that you watch Dr. Phil. Weekdays, check your local listing. We'll be right back. For those of you who don't know what Throwback Thursday is, well, it's a social media phenomenon where people post old school photos of themselves on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and then they tell the story behind the picture. Dr. Phil kicked off our Throwback Thursday today with his hot surfing photo. And now, it's my turn. This is me at Ocean Township Middle School. I played... And to my right is my friend Rita Williams-Wass. Rita and I were in from kindergarten, from first grade all the way through senior year in high school together. Thank you, Rita, for sending this photo. I played a Bundy clarinet in the school band, and this was our Memorial Day parade, which went down Monmouth Road in Ocean Township. Now, I will tell you that they normally stacked us according to height, so technically Rita and I were supposed to be in the back, but because we were the worst clarinet players in the band, I never even learned how to read music, I'll be honest with you. I used to hear what everyone else was playing, and I used to play it that way. But because we were the worst, they wanted to keep an eye on us, so we weren't allowed to stand in the back and cut up and play wrong notes. Thank you, Rita, so much for sending that picture. I would love to see your Throwback Thursday photos, so make sure that you follow me on Instagram and use the hashtag WendyTBT for Throwback Thursday when you post your picture, okay? Up next, we'll reveal our audience eye candy of the day. Keep it here. Welcome back. doing this show is that we get a chance to look at some of the most fashionable people around. Is this not a fashionable audience or what? So now it's time to reveal our audience eye candy of the day. I only have one Diva fan, and when you press it, it says, "How you doing?" All right, so drum roll, please. Let's pick our winner. This person really caught my eyes with her fashion. Her name is Josephine Sportella. Josephine, come on down. Yeah. Josephine, I really love your outfit. Come out here so everybody can see your look. First, wait, no, back here and turn that way, so let's start with your necklace, which I love.
So the necklace is from Etsy.com.
I know that site.
I love that site.
Good one.
Yes.
And I love the color popped shirt. This is beautiful.
Thank you. So the blazer is Walter Baker from Macy's. I got it for $100. The shirt is Express, $50. Leggings, $20, yeah, cheap. And the shoes, $40 on sale from Steve Madden.
Great, and I love the detail of the back of your blazer, how it goes up, you know? Yeah, it's really cute. Here, Josephine, here's your Diva fan. Thank you very much. Everybody, to learn more about Josephine's look, go to wendyshow.com. We'll be right back. Yeah! I finally got a chance to meet Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, I loved having you here. You were so entertaining and so real. Oh, have a seat, you guys. Plus, I want to thank my co-host, my studio audience. Thank you for being here and being so colorful and cheerful, and thank you for helping me do the show. Tomorrow, the always enjoyable Terry Crews will be here. Plus, People Magazine reveals their picks for Hollywood's best and worst dressed on the list. So, I love you for watching today, and I'll see you tomorrow on Wendy. Bye.